All right, family. We black once again, and you with the general. You already know what it is, man. We got that fire for you. We got that fire international, national, regional, local, culture, news, history. You already know what it is. Black Power. We in the house. Make sure you get over to Patreon and we got that fire videos over there, over almost 600 at this point. 600 videos exclusive. Have not seen them nowhere else but Patreon. So you need to get over there. We got fire there for you. We talking about the United States. Let me get this in here. The United States will send special forces into Iran to get that uranium. They're going in there to get. They got to go get it. They got to go get it at this point. They got to go get it. They're gonna have to punish them at this point. There's no way at this that you can't, that you would leave over there without it. There's no way that you can leave from over there without it because you didn't hit these people in the mouth too hard for that. You know what I'm saying? Certain people ain't taking no hit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody taking that type of punishment and not try to get no get back. Ain't nobody taking that type of punishment and ain't gonna want no get back. Okay, and so you had to figure that out. And believe me, when you understand that somebody coming for your ass, somebody coming for you after you put that type of punishment on the people. So the thing is, and I understand, I keep hearing on videos, they say you got to finish the job. And you must. You must finish the job. A lot of people out there, man, listen here, you have to understand, for the safety of your family and your people at this point in time, the devastation that they didn't cause, they didn't already threaten, retaliation on the United States. They've already, you be a goddamn fool to not want no get back. You be a goddamn fool, and that's why being that this is the United States, that's warfare. You supposed to know that they gonna want some get back, and that's why you got to punish their ass even harder. You see, right now, and make that damn near as close to impossible as you can. You got to make that because you talking about it might be on your babies. It might, it might not be this administration. They can't get it this administration. It might be the next administration. That's why, whoever come behind Trump gonna have to be they're gonna have to be militaristic. You know what I'm saying? Because the type of wars that are being waged now or about to be waged, it ain't gonna be no room for no damn dialogue once Donald Trump get out of power. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be warfare. You're gonna have somebody that that's gonna be about war. It's gonna be war for 3, 4, 5 damn administrations, presidencies in a row. Because they preparing for China. They preparing for China, and this is really a proxy war. You see what I'm saying? China and Russia is behind Iran. Just know that. You see, Russia already been giving Iran intel about where, they've been using their satellites and shit, getting information on where to strike, coordinates and this, that, and the security intelligence, what they call it, special intelligence has relayed the fact that China has been trying to deliver some missile defense systems to Iran by way of another nation. You see, by way of another nation. And so this is a proxy war also because, China is dependent on that damn oil, that's coming up out of the Persian Gulf. They get 40% of their oil out the Persian Gulf. You got India, you know what I'm saying? Which, you have to watch India. India is becoming one of the most sneakiest nations, they want to pretend like they so humanitarian, and and they just jumped on Pakistan, and they up there beefing with China, and China put some hands on there. They put hands on each other, but China think they could bully India. So y'all wanna act all this neutral, and they ain't neutral. They ain't neutral. India is rolling with Russia, and they rolling with Russia. They might not, but they seem to be in that same position as Saudi Arabia when they tried to go against the United States under the Biden administration, when Biden and them rebuked Saudi Arabia, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, for being a part of knocking that journalist off, Khashoggi. And so they rebuked Saudi Arabia and the Prince, and so he retaliated by not wanting to be an ally of the United States. So he started buddying up with Iran. He started buddying up with Russia. And I knew then, I say, man, Iran is Russia's ally. So and I know that Iran is all, been into it with Saudi Arabia since Islam started. You see, since Islam started, Iran, Persia have been at odds with the Arabs. You see what I'm saying? And so I say, well, this is fake. Well, you punking yourself to go over there and pretend like Iran. And so I say, soon as Iran jump on your ass, Russia ain't gonna say shit. You see, Russia's telling them to pop their ass any damn way. Go on and pop them. Send some goddamn, missiles over there and shit. But India's in the same predicament because China, Russia is really, but I don't know about that. Them three sinister nations over, you don't know, you don't know which way them three nations might roll. But more than likely, Russia would roll with China before it roll with India. So if China and India get into it, they more likely be neutral, but more likely they will side with China. And so India gonna fuck around and get theirs from another situation. But I don't trust India. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why they want to, try to act like they're ally with United States, because they know if they get into it with China, Russia ain't gonna help their ass. Russia is not gonna help India against China. So if China get to putting them hands on India, they just gonna get them hands put on their ass. They can't do they can't do China like they did Pakistan. You see what I'm saying? So that's a fact. They can't do India like they do Pakistan. And so, so they'll play, and I seen when United States put sanctions on their air, they went over to China. I say, y'all are some suckers. You can't trust them. You can't trust India. You cannot trust India. You know what I'm saying? So all of that is, and so you got in, and that's another thing about all these damn, these damn Brahmins and shit in the United States. In all these positions, y'all gotta, got these, got them in high positions. Fortune 500 companies. You see what I'm saying? They running shit, technology. They in the deepest part of the technological infrastructure. They probably, running a lot of that AI shit. You know what I'm saying? You already know they is. You know they is. You see what I'm saying? But the United States gonna end up having to put hands on Iran, and they could do it. People keep talking about they could, man, they'll crack Iran head. You see what I'm saying? But what they doing is they building the consensus to where people understand every step Trump go further, the deeper you in the fight. to where you ain't gonna be able to pull out and feel comfortable that they ain't gonna try to attack your ass. And so, you know, the deeper you gonna want some resolve, and the resolve is gonna be breaking them knees and them elbows, and you know what I'm saying, where they can't function. That's just reality. Some fights, when you start them, you gotta finish them. You cannot leave. And that's another, you know, I believe that was Shaka Zulu. He said, I believe, was that Shaka Zulu who said, never leave an enemy behind. Never leave an enemy behind. That's a part of the art of war. Listen to me what I'm telling you, family. I know you soft. I know you soft, but take this to never leave an enemy behind. Never leave an enemy behind, because one day he'll rise up to strike you when you least expect it. So if you're gonna war with motherfucker, you war until they scarred, nigga. The knees is broke, ankles, and you know, and you don't leave them behind. You know what that means. You see what I'm saying? If you fighting, if you scar and you fight on that level, you see, on that level, and some of you, it's some cats and that apply wherever you at. Some motherfucker, you know, if you get into it with this motherfucker is an old vengeful ass motherfucker. They you know what I'm saying? It could be some little shit. If you ain't gonna, and that's why I tell motherfucker, some motherfucker, you just can't even get into it with them. These niggas in the streets and shit, you can't get into it with these niggas. You understand what I'm saying? You could say something to a nigga that hurt their feelings and they be ready to try to, you know, kill you straight up. That's how sensitive, violently sensitive these niggas is out here. You know what I'm saying? You can't joke on a nigga and get a good, listen, do you know some niggas is so sensitive? If you get a good joke in on their ass, they'll be ready to kill your ass. You know, especially if niggas laughing and shit. You know, some niggas is sensitive like that. You know, and I know that to be true. So you don't even joke. You can't even joke with a motherfucker. You can't do nothing. You had to just be about your business and stay up out of this shit. But once you cross that line, certain guys, certain nations, man, you got the damn there. And that's why I'm telling you, go with the initial, just be to yourself. I'm not telling you to do this. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to do this. But what I am telling you, if that day come, bruh, wherever you at, whatever you do on a political level, national, if you go in a certain motherfucking mouth, and you go ignorantly, even if you go, you might have to just go ahead, man, and see it all the way to the end for your own benefit and the benefit of your family. You might have the motherfucker go on and finish the job straight up. And I believe that right now that Donald Trump is going in Iran mouth so bad. I wouldn't feel comfortable. As bad as they didn't just win in their mouth, you didn't knock off their leaders. That right there is enough. You didn't knock off 50 of their leaders. That right there is enough. They have serious vengeance. You understand what? That alone, you know what I'm saying? They ain't going to, for real, they ain't going to even be a real people unless that is, you know, that scar is healed. You know what I'm saying? That requires something. You know what I'm saying? That requires something, man. You know what I'm saying? That requires something. I'm just saying it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's why you got to finish the job. They gonna have to have that uranium. They're gonna have to have that uranium. Because you thinking you done went in the motherfucking mouth like that? They probably over there, I can't wait to get this shit. You understand? On this missile. You know what I'm saying? That's what they, man, hurry up and get this shit on this missile. Do you get me, man? Yeah, Vladimir already gave us the blueprint. Gigi Ping and already gave us the blue. So they over there probably in the underground bunker now trying to hurry up and get some shit so they can, yeah, we got it now. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. You're at that point. So for your own benefit and safety, and sometimes that's just how it go. That's just how it go. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to go in there and get that uranium. And more likely they're gonna have to go in there and get the rest of them leaders of that goddamn Revolutionary Guard. They might as well go in there and get them. And just go on there, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to knock off all, just, enough of them to where the other peoples can take care of their ass. You know what I'm saying? Cripple their ass and shit. A lot of them already fractured. It ain't gonna take much. It ain't gonna take much more and I know that. It ain't gonna take much more. You know what I'm saying? But you had to go on and kick the dough in. You know what I'm saying? Kick the dough in. People thinking motherfucker, anytime you got to wrap your kids around a nigga, you ain't got many options. Anytime he say he gonna blow up the brick and you send your babies out there to be on you, nigga, you ain't got many options, nigga. You trying to do some damn, po man, what they call that? They used to have a guy that used to put out video, the po man's, what they call that, man? And he used to show you how to, and man, I don't even know why they let this man even put videos out. Man, that motherfucker was showing people how to make side. I say, what? Making side knot. I say, what the fuck is they got this man on the video? I don't want this shit. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker and the white boy at the top of it, and it was out in the public. I say, oh. I say, damn, this motherfucker crazy. But people out here know because they had the videos, man. I say, oh no, get this shit up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get this shit up out of here. But anyway, family, we just getting started for this evening, man. The United States will send special forces into Iran and seize that uranium. You see what I'm saying? And crack they goddamn cranium. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be, family. It's gonna have to be. I appreciate y'all. Chicago in the house. That's right, family. I see y'all black here in a minute, man. Don't you go nowhere. Rock with the general. Get over to Patreon. Click that link at the top and hit the like button. Subscribe. Comment. And I'll see y'all black here in a minute. Black power.